Hello all, hope you're all able to see me, and we'll start soon. Hello all, let me say hello all. Hope you're all able to see me, and good evening. One sec. Let me see. One sec. Oh, okay, you're able to see me on YouTube also. Yeah, thank you. Welcome all. Yeah, hello. You're able to see me on YouTube also. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we are going to start sometime. I'm Sometimes it doesn't comes to YouTube, so I get worried. Okay, so it's okay. So that's all. Let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to start with JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript and all. So on this, most of you will be from the, I think, from the Saturday's batch, and there I didn't got much of told much of JavaScript. So we are going to do the JavaScript and all. Okay, and as always, it is a 5 days attendance sheet will be given, and you have to fill attendance sheet daily. So let me type that thing. Attendance form will be given at the end. You can write other place also. Attendance form will be given at the end, so please fill it to get your participation certificate. And for completion certificate, I will tell on the last day, because if you want a completion certificate, then there is some process for that. But you'll get that participation certificate if you attend all the 5 days. So that is there. And uh, okay, so that is there. And where am I? Okay, so let me share my screen. Let me. Okay. Hope you are able to see my screen, but I think we don't need the VS Code today first, because we are going to learn JavaScript through something known as JSBin today first. Okay, after that we'll go ahead and do that project and all those things through VS Code. But JavaScript is a programming language, so those who are coming from HTML CSS background, they might find it a bit difficult. JavaScript a bit difficult, but yeah, go through it again and again, and you'll find it a bit easier. Okay, so that is there. And as I have told, we are going to, okay, one sec, okay. So we are going to do what, one sec, 2 3. Yeah, so I'm going to open JSBin here. JSBin is an online code editor, okay, in which you can easily see. I hope everybody able to see my screen. So I have this at 150% only, so that everyone can see. So we're going to learn a programming language is something which is in the RAM of, actually, which is a RAM, or in a JavaScript case in the browser. So all these things are there in some. We're going to create some variables and all those things. So you cannot sort of see them. Whatever, so HTML and CSS, you can sort of see them, but JavaScript you cannot see it. A programming language, you cannot see how the variables are there, how it is stored, and all those things. Even in a Java and all, you can see those things. So that's the reason we do a lot of things in the console. So see, this is the complete integrated environment. So what happens here, just like in VS Code, we can write all the code here. So this code it had got HTML, CSS, JavaScript console, all those things it has got. Okay, so here I will open the JavaScript and console, because that is something which we required. Nothing else we required. And what is this console and all? So if you right click and inspect any browser, so you come to this console. So instead of opening it here, I can see it here also. So this is a nice console is there, so we can see it here also. And through it, we are going to learn JavaScript, because JavaScript is again a programming language. So for any programming language, the first thing which we do is a console.log. Those who have done a bit of programming language, you know that console.log we do always. Okay, so hello Java script I'll do. Okay, and then I'll run it. So hello JavaScript will come. So this is known as console.log. See, it had come here, and if I go, it will come here also. So it will come here also. So at both the places it will come. So this is how the means console in a JavaScript works. Okay, so that is how. And there are other programming language like C, C++. Someone is coming from that background, they might know that there's a printf and all those things are there. That is there. Okay, so that is there. So let's do a bit more and let us look into variables. So variables, what are variables? So variables are nothing but a address in the space or in the RAM of your computer. So as with all programming languages, they say that the more the RAM in your computer, it's better for programming and all, because any variables are not stored in the hard disks. Hard disks and all, nothing is stored. Everything is stored in the RAM. So that is like that. So like Java and all other language, they're also known as higher order languages and all. So Java and C++. JavaScript doesn't have a lot of variable types. So in Java, C++, even in C, what happens? We have integers, we have strings, we have booleans, all those data types that we have. But here in JavaScript, we have only var. So as I was telling, I'm going to tell everything. So only var is there. But JavaScript has gone through a major changes in, not changes, upgradations in 2015. What is difference from upgradation and changes? So the old thing was already there, but it has gone through a major upgradation in 2015 when ES6 was added in JavaScript. So the ES6 was added in JavaScript in 2015. So what happened? There were a lot of drawbacks in JavaScript. Okay, because JavaScript was created in a hurry, and JavaScript was created in 1995. At that time, also the inventor didn't thought that it will become so big, and one day it will run everything on this planet. So every other programming language, means every web apps and all these things, even this, all everything is made with JavaScript, some JavaScript library like React or Angular or anything like that. Okay, so that is there. So they had to make some changes in JavaScript in 2015. They had some very good changes, and that is known as ES6. And we are going to learn about ES6 also. That is very important for the next step. Yeah, good evening all. And then what is the next step? The next step is to learn React. So learn React, because React only gives you a job, and this channel is all about giving you a job so that you all can get a job. It is not like that teaching anything else which cannot get you a job. No, for me it is always to give you a job first, and all the other things, all the Pythons and all those things you can learn later on if you have time. All those things you can do, but those things, jobs are not there. Jobs is in React only. So React, maybe somewhat in Angular, somewhat in Vue, everything in JavaScript, but Node.js. So you'll find all of those things in this channel also. Node.js also you'll find. So Node.js also I took previous time. Okay, so all those things are there. So okay, so let us learn about something. So there are three ways to declare variables in JavaScript. One is var, second is let, and the third is const. Var is in the beginning of JavaScript, that is 1996. Okay, but let and const were recently added, and we are going to see all of them right now, because const we are going to maybe see a bit later on our use of it, but var and let we are going to see right now. So there is a problem with, so let us first write how the variables we need to write. And variables is like var f name equal to Nabendu. So see what happens here, single quotes. So this is how, hi Ananta, this is how we give the variables name. Okay, f name I have given, and this is known as camel casing. So in JavaScript we do a lot of camel casing, and AME, it is known as camel casing. Okay, so then we have let l name equal to source, and so as I told, there are var, let, and const only. Full name equal to Bindu, this was okay, and then console.log of name and full name. Okay, so let me clear it and let me run it. Okay, so see what is coming. Okay, so the console logs have been done. Okay, console logs are been done in Windows and this thing. Okay, So this is that. But what is the difference between var, let, and const? Everything I have given this like this, and you'll soon see that in JavaScript what happens. You can give a string also here, you can give number also here, you can give boolean also here. So there is no some other data type is not there. If you are coming from a Java or a C background, you'll see that there's something like int is there, or maybe boolean like this we write, but not in JavaScript. Not in JavaScript. We have only var. We have only var, let, and const. So what is the difference between that? See, const is something which is like constant, but there is a difference between var and let. So this is an interview question also, very big interview question in JavaScript. What is the difference between var and let? Okay, so var is functional scope and let is block scope. So let is a block scope, just like any other programming language. Okay, let is a block scope. Hi, so everybody saying hi bit2, hi everyone. I can't say hi to everyone. Okay, so hi, but it's good. Okay, so that is there. And yeah, so I was telling that var is functional scope and let is global scope. Let is a block scope, not global. Let is a block scope, just like any other programming language. So what is functional scope? So let us see that in detail. What is functional scope? And again, in JavaScript also, you give the Java, not JavaScript also, you give the console by selecting everything and control backslash, and it will give this like this. Okay, so then we'll have if true. So see, we are going to soon learn what is the if. What is if? We are going to soon learn. But if I give if true, means this is a if statement which will always execute, which will always go inside. If I will give, okay, var num1 equal to 10, I will give, okay, var num1 equal to 10, and console dot log of inside if var plus num1. Okay, inside if var plus num1 and outside if var. Okay, I run it, it will give me true. But what is the problem? In any other programming language, including if I take it as a let, it will not be true, because see, every variable have a scope. So if I take a variable inside a if statement, switch statement, or any other statement for that instance, which are like this curly brackets, then what happens here? uh, it ends there only. The scope ends there only. So var should have ended from here till here, but not in the case of var. Var is a functional scope. It doesn't mean that all these things are there. If it doesn't mean if it is there and working or not. But let us do the same thing with const. So not const. Let us do the same thing with let. So I will have a let num2. I should give it num2 equal to 10, and let me comment this out, and this is maybe 20 inside if, let me write a direct console, and this is num2, this is num2. So okay, so this is the if true is there. Okay, then I will do it. See, it is giving me error. It is giving me the error because of the scoping. Because the let scope ends from here to here. Here till here, the let scope is ending. So it is giving me a big error because the let scope is ending from here till here. And this is true for any other programming language. You go to C, C++, Java, anything. Everything is block scope. So this is known as block scope. Let it just store data but can't get in return. I'm not getting Ananda, what you're telling. Okay, so that is there. So this is how let is a block scope. So we are learning about block scope and block scope and functional scope. So this is how let is there. It will not work in this case. So we do it now. What is a okay? So what is a functional scope? Which is a var have. So if I wrap this in a function, then it cannot go out. Functional scope means that. Okay, so I'll do a function my func, and let me cut it, paste it here, and Now I will call this. So functions also we're going to learn. See, functions are things by which we can store anything in small blocks, and that is very important in JavaScript. So we create a lot of functions in JavaScript. So I'll do my func. Okay, my func I'll do, and then okay, my func I have done. And then outside if so I will have here outside for okay, run it, and inside if outside if these two are working. When it ran, these two are working, but this is not running. This is not running. Outside if var is outside for var is not running. Outside for it should be outside function var. Okay, outside whatever is the name. Outside function var, it is not working. So because it is not working, because var scope is from here till here inside a function. It is known as functional scope. Okay, so this is what is known as functional scope. Okay, and which which just var have, no other thing have like this. The functional scope, you cannot make it a block scope inside this. It is also always a functional scope. Okay, so this is about it. And const is something like I cannot const. We're going to look into a bit detail later on when we're going to learn ES6, because a lot of the concept here are ES6 concept. So const num4 equal to maybe 34 and num4 equal to 35 and console.log num of 4. Again, I comment this out. Maybe I'll give this JSBins to all of you and see. It is giving me error because you're gonna do it like do something like this with the const. You're gonna assign a value again, and we are going to learn a bit later on all these things again. So that is there. And now we are going to open again another JSBin, and this JSBin again I'm going to go to JavaScript and console, and like this I have to go, and then what is there. Okay, so now we are going to learn about data types. So just like any other programming language, JavaScript have also data types, but they are different kind of data types are there. Okay, so data types is equal to, so there are string, number, boolean, null, undefined, and symbol. Okay, these are the data types: string, numbers, boolean, null, undefined, and symbol. These are the data types in JavaScript. Okay, so what are they? So let us do one by one, and then we'll understand what are they. Const, it is throwing error because if I do something like this, num equal to 34, I cannot reassign it. But if in a let, if I do a let here, I can do it. Const means constant. When you assign a value, you cannot change it. Okay, when you assign a value, you cannot change it. Hope you are getting it right. Const, I'll do again const. It will throw an error again because I'm assigning it to 34. Then I cannot change it again. Once you're given it, it is sort of final. There are something else also there which I'm going to tell later on in ES6. But as of now, const is something you give const, it will not be changed again. So that is there. Now we are going to learn about the data types. Okay, so the data types we are going to learn. So there are 6 data types in JavaScript: string, numbers, boolean, null, undefined, and symbol. So string, number, booleans are the same thing which other programming language also have, but null and undefined is something not all programming languages have, but some of them have. Okay, and then there is symbol. Symbol is something which is a bit complicated data type, and which was later added in JavaScript because of ES6, but it is not used that much. It is something like array, and we're not going to go into much detail into the symbol. We're going to look into all this 5 only. So let us have first written all these things. So const name equal to window, const age equal to 9, const rating equal to 5.5, const is developer equal to true, I'm not getting Ananta. What you're asking means let f name equal to, yeah. I told the difference between let and var. Var is function scope and let is. I just told. I think you have not got it. That is not the difference. The difference is that now. The difference is this example which I have taken. This is the examples. I think you, this example is the difference. This is not the difference. This is something which is same. The example difference is this. The difference is this. Difference is this thing. Go through the video again. The difference. Go to the replay again. The difference is this, and this is a very big difference. And var creates a lot of global scope, and it created a lot of mess in JavaScript. This is you cannot miss. If I write var inside a if statement, it will go outside that also. And if you are learning Java or C++, you know that means that is not acceptable. And only way to keep a scope in var is through function. But a let is a scope like this only. This was also throwing error. That's what, this is a big difference. This was just showing. This was just showing the difference is this and this. Go through it again, because we are in a hurry. Because this course which I do, it's not that means I do everything, but which I do in my paid course also. But this is like you can think it as a one day, and my paid course is like a test match. So we have to cover everything, but at a bit faster rate. Okay, and const y equal to null and const is equal to, no, I will have a let y will have, and then okay, now I'll have a console.log of. So there is a type of operator, is there type of name. Okay, the main difference is you in today's modern JavaScript code, you should never use var, you should always use let or const. There are a lot of issues with var. The main issue is that it is not block scoped. So in bigger projects, it causes a lot of problem. Yeah. So what is this type of operator is an operator which is a inbuilt function which gives a type of the whatever it is there. It will give the type of. So suppose this is there because I want to see the data type. That's why I give the type of operator. Now I run it. So it will give, okay, the name is a string. Okay. See, you can see one more thing in JavaScript. What is there? You don't have something like string is there. So if I give something in a string, it will become a string. So type of it is a string. Then there are nothing like floats and integer in JavaScript. Everything is a number. See, the age 39 is also a number, 5.5 is also a number. So everything is a number in JavaScript. Then Boolean is like normal thing, normal true and false. This is there in every language. It is there. Okay, it is there in every language. Okay, this Boolean thing. Okay, then after that const y equal to null and let y. So what is this? What is this null and undefined? What is this null and undefined first? So null and undefined, both of them means the absence of value. Both of them means there is no value. Okay, the absence of value is either null or undefined. But the absence of value is null or undefined, but null is assigned by the user or the programmer, and undefined is assigned by the program. Okay, if you leave something like this, let y, so that is undefined. But if you have put something like this, null, if you put something like this, that will be null. So a very good example will be that suppose you go to some college or school and you have to fill some form. you have to fill some form to give all the data. Nowadays also in India, everything you have to fill a paper form, and then only admission and all those things happen. Then after that they enter it in the computer. So the process is always like that. So what happens, see, had gone for my kid school admission also. So there in the form there was a column name, first name, middle name and last name. My kid doesn't have a mid name because I didn't keep the mid name. So my kid doesn't have a mid name. So what I will do there, I'll either put a NA not applicable, or I will leave it blank, leave it completely blank. Then the computer operator who will enter the data in the computer, she will understand that NA also means the kid doesn't have a mid name. And if I leave it blank, then also kid doesn't have a mid name. So NA means null. If I assign it myself, then also it is it means nothing. And if I leave it blank, then also it means nothing. So at the end they means nothing. Null and undefined means nothing. But the thing, it is different the way we give it. This is I gave it myself, but this is I left it blank, then it is undefined. Okay. So if someone have noticed a very big error here in the right hand side, there's a very big error in the right hand side. Okay, in the type of, that is type of X is null. Type of X is null, but the type of X is not null actually. Type of X is an object. Type of X is showing as an object. Type of Y is undefined. That is okay, and all these other types are also okay. But why is type of X object? Actually, this is a very big bug in JavaScript. If I have to say, JavaScript was created in 3 days, only 3 days, because at that time in 1996, there was the first internet browser of the world, which is known as Netscape. When Netscape was going to launch, so JavaScript, they wanted to launch something for the interactivity, like for the button click and all those things. So they launched a programming language in 3 days, only 3 days, and there were a lot of bugs left in the programming language. In 3 days, it is not possible to create a programming language. So there was a lot of bugs left in the JavaScript, which cannot be solved even today, because they never thought that internet will take off such a big time, and JavaScript will be there. So the earlier sites, see, no site they delete. So Yahoo was there from the starting of the internet, Google was there from the starting of the internet. So the old codes are still there. So some developer might have used something like this. If type of X equal to object, and if they have done that thing, half of the internet will break because of that. So this bug cannot be solved. Actually, this is also a bug in JavaScript. The var is a functional scope, and to solve that bugs, they cannot remove var from JavaScript, then whole of the internet will fail. So they introduced let in 2015, which solved that issue. So that's the problem with JavaScript. A lot of bugs are there. This is the bug number 1, this is the bug number 2, which cannot never be solved. Okay, so that is like that. There are some other bugs also are there. Okay, so that is there. So we have done here, and now we are going to go to other thing as JSBin, JavaScript console, and we are going to learn about string concatenation. See, we can learn this in ES6 also, but some of the ES6 feature I tell here also. Okay, so like const name equal to bindu, and const age equal to 39, and so this is the old way to concatenate. First we'll see the old way. Old way is console.log my name is plus name. So if I want to give some string, I give it like this. If I have to give some variable, I have to give with directly, and the plus is there, or else it takes to the next line. So the plus is very much required. Okay, and I am age plus, I want to write years old. I want to write years old. Okay, so how to write years old? See, years old. I'm not able to write years old. Why I'm not able to write years old? Why I'm not able to write the years old? So I'm not able to write the years old because the problem is that, see, this is the problem, because this is also single quotes and this is also single quotes. So I have to escape this thing in such cases, to escape with the backslash, and then I can do it. So this is problem number one in the old way. Okay, so I have some single quotes, then I have to escape it. Okay, so now let us see the problem number two here. So if I run it, see the problem number two. What is the problem number two? See, there is no space here. It is also correct. So when I do this thing, I have to know one thing. Okay, so that is there. I have to do a space here. I should know this thing. I have a space here. I have to do a space here. I have to do a space here. Now I'll run and it will be right. So this is the old way. So there is a new way, which is the ES6 way, and the new way is through something known as template string. So template string console.log and backslash I have to do. Tick. This is known as backtick, which is it is below the escape. Below the escape, the backtick is there. My name is dollar name and I am dollar age years old. So it is like normal English I am writing, because I'm giving this backticks. I don't even have to escape this thing. But wherever the variable comes, I have to give this dollar and curly bracket. Dollar and curly bracket I have to do. So this is the new way, and if I run this, it will also give the same thing. But this is the new way. You should prefer this way. This is much more superior than this old way, this plus way. So this is much more superior, and this is much more easier also. Only the thing is that wherever variable comes, you have to give this dollar and curly bracket. Okay, dollar and curly bracket you have to do. Okay, so the next thing we are going to learn about is some of the string methods. Okay, some of the string methods. Someone is asking, what is the importance of JavaScript towards job? How will it help in jobs? See, someone from other platform is asking. So the platform on which we are talking, that is made in JavaScript. Okay, that is made in JavaScript, the platform in which I am talking. So this is a startup through which you are seeing this thing, that is made in JavaScript. This is made in JavaScript. This whole thing is made in JavaScript. Facebook is made in JavaScript. Everything, the whole world is made in JavaScript, if I can say. Let me take it a bit further. Even recently, the rocket which was sent to Mars by Elon Musk, our favorite Elon Musk, that contains the code also that was made in JavaScript. The day of Java was over 20 years back. So not only on this planet, on the next planet on which the human species will go, that will also contain Java. So JavaScript. So that is the importance of JavaScript. And the more important is that of the frameworks like React.js, Angular, and Vue. Out of that, React.js is way too ahead. And so that is like that, because the complicated apps, see the what was the last time you used a desktop app? I think most of people don't even know what is a desktop app, because only the desktop I use is VS Code, nothing else I use. Even this is the replacement of VS Code, which I'm right now showing this thing. This is a replacement of VS Code. Those who can see it correctly, this is actually a replacement of VS Code. HTML, CSS, JavaScript console output. It is the replacement of VS Code. And there are some very good replacement of VS Code also. So everything is on the web. So everything is JavaScript, and you learn JavaScript, you get a job. But not just JavaScript. You have to learn React.js also, because the complicated projects JavaScript cannot take. But React.js is a JavaScript library. Okay, JavaScript library. So without JavaScript, you cannot learn. You cannot even go to that. So that is there. So now we'll look into some of the string methods. Hope you answered your question, Bharat. So string answers. Actually, the colleges don't know anything. They are still they are still 20 years behind what the industry works. Government is also like that. Government sites are made in PHP, and don't even ask what is PHP. Hello JavaScript. So I'll do this const str is a hello JavaScript I have done. So we are going to look into some of the string methods. So some of the string methods we are going to learn, and then so So string is a very important data type here. So there are some string methods are there. So let us learn about that. And then console.log of str.length. Okay. I will comment this out and I clear it, run it, str.length. So what is this? str.length is giving me as 16. So it's a function. So there are a lot of functions in JavaScript for string. So string, and I will give a good link, string methods MDN Mozilla Developer Network. This is even better than your W3C school and all. Mozilla Developer Network created by Mozilla. So this has got all the methods with string have. Some of these things have. So if you want to learn some of the other string methods, you should go through it, because I'm not going to go through all of them. So all of this, which is this thing is that delete. So that is deleted, and this experimental thing also you don't have to go. But all of these other things are there for the string method. So you go through this. I will give this link. This is a very good link actually. So I will give this link at both places. Okay, where is, okay, one sec. Okay, so let me give this link. So go through this link and okay. Someone is asking a lot of question. Okay, one second, let me give this link here also. Which programming language should you focus on for web development job or web application? React.js, and React.js any day. No other thing. So I'm telling you, on this platform in which you are seeing this code, that is also made in React.js. So there are some tools you can open it and see what platform, what is it is made. Okay, so it is made on React.js and maybe Next.js also. Okay, so that is there. Okay. Okay. So all these things are there. String.length is there. So there are some other methods also. Let me tell about some of them. And string dot to uppercase, I'll do. And similar to that, we have string dot to lowercase. And if I run it, the two uppercase will change everything to uppercase, and two lowercase will change everything to lowercase. Okay, so it is like that. And so these all things are there in this MDN. If you go, all of those things are there. So similar to that, we have other things also. Other important thing I'm going to tell, which is str dot sub string and 0 to 7 I'll do. So what is the str dot substring? So it will create a substrings from zero here to till 7. So it will create this substring. I'm going to create this substring like this. And there is something else also. Str dot includes is like Java. Includes is like Java. So it will search if Java is there or not. If it is there, it will give me true, or else it will give me false. So if I do COBOL, run it, it will give me false. So it is like this. Okay, it is like this. Okay, so now we are going to look into arrays. Arrays are arrays are also known as non-primitive data types. And the thing is that array is there in almost every programming language, from Java to C to C++. Everything is there. Okay, arrays are there. So let us start with array. So array are like the variables we are storing at the same places. But what array helps us to store a lot of values in a sequent order, means in the sequence. See, when I write this thing, there is some place in the random access memory or RAM, it is stored, and the address is been written there. Okay, so array are something which is like they are continuously stored at a place. Okay, yes, I'll try to do it array as, so it is stored at a continuous place. Okay, array. So suppose I'll have a const lang equal to JavaScript Java C++ Golang Kotlin 5 comma true. Okay, so this is known as array. So you have to give this brackets, square bracket, and you have to give all the items of an array. All the items of the array you have to give. Okay, so here what is there? So and they will store continuously in the computer's memory. JavaScript, Java, C++, Golang, Kotlin, 5 and true. See, they're in every other programming language, but what I have just read, it is not possible in any other programming language like Java or C++, because I have given a string data type, I have given number data type, and I have given Boolean data type. This is not possible in Java or C++, because there we have array of string, array of integer, array of Boolean that nobody have. So those kind of things we have. So this is only possible in JavaScript. First thing is that, but arrays are like, the concept is exactly similar to whatever is there in the other programming language. So if I do console.log of lang, comment this out, there it, run it, so it will show like this: JavaScript, Java, C++, Golang, Kotlin, and 5. But the main thing is not that. The main thing is how to access the element of an array. I have how to access this, how to access this, how to access this, how to access this, and all these things. How do I access? So for that, console.log of lang of 2. So array indexes starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 means it will give me this C++. Clear it, run it, it will give me C++. Okay, so that is like that. It is giving C++. Array, this is how we access the array. And array have got some very good methods. Okay, so array have got some very good methods. So in fact, the array methods are more than the string method, because array is one of the most important data non-primitive data type in JavaScript, and we are going to use it a lot in React also, a lot in React. Okay, a lot in React also. So let's do that. Okay, so lang I'll do equal to C. So I can do something like this. If I want to push something, put something at the third index, I'll do like this, and then let me have this console.log. Okay. So see, this 3 has been pushed, but there are other ways to push or remove something from an array. Okay, and generally we don't push like this. Generally what happens in array, we either we push at the end most of the time, 90% of the time, or we push at the start, or we remove something from the start, or we remove something from the end. And there are very good JavaScript methods for this. Okay, I think other languages also have this method, but that you have to see that language what are there. So that is there. So there is a method known as pop, and pop is used to remove an element from the end of the array. Okay, so I'll do that. Lang dot pop, and I've given it 2 times because I wanted to remove this 5 and 2 because they are like separate things. So 5 and 2, I have to remove this. So I have given 2 times lang.pop, and this has been done. Okay, like this, lang.pop is there. Okay, so actually I should do it in a different JSBin because there is no space. JSBin. Console output. Okay, that is done. Okay, so this is to remove element from the end. Okay, so if I want to push something to the, start end, so how to do that? For that we have lang dot push, lang dot push, and Pascal, and yeah, remove the last element with pop, and lang dot unshift we have. So these two things we have. If I run it, so what is the push? Push is pushing to the end. Push is pushing to the end. Anything you will push, push will push to the end. And shift is something which will put in the start. So shift has put in the start. So it is like that. And there is one more thing through which you can remove element from the start of the array. Okay, so that is like lang dot shift like this, and dot log lang. I do run it. Okay, what is there? Console dot lang dot shift. Okay, one sec. What just happened? What is the problem? The static and all. JSBin running. Oh, JSBin is gone. See, JSBin itself is gone. Or what is there? Log into it. No console is there. Yeah, it is working, but why? Okay. Some error I have done on shift lang dot shift. Let me do one thing. Okay, I got it. This is a spell mistake. SHIFT. It is SHIFT. Sometimes this thing happen. So shift is like SHIFT. Okay, so shift is it will shift something from the start. So this shift language was actually deleted from the start. So this is how it works. Okay, so all these things, it works like this. And let us do okay. So there are some very good array methods also are there. In fact, there are more array methods than there are string methods, because array is, as I told, array is a very important thing. Okay, so again, we're going to look into some array methods. So this const, this is okay. Const, okay. I will have something. Const maybe language equal to like this, because I have to take a different thing. Okay, so language is equal to this, and then I will comment this all out. Then console.log of array dot is array lang. So something is there like this, array dot is array is lang, and it is true. So this method is very important method. Again, there is array methods mdn is there, array methods mdn. If I do, all the array methods are there, and there are a lot of array methods, and we are going to learn about most important array methods when we are going to learn about ES6. Okay, all of them we are going to learn at that time. Okay, ES6 array dot is array is lang is there, and it will tell whether it is a lang or not, or we can do one more thing. If I pass this JavaScript like this, will say it is false because it is a string, it is not an array. So this is like this, it works. And then there is something like console.log lang dot index of lang.index of is like let me find this golang and see golang, the index is there. So what is index of does? It just searches what is the index of whatever it is there. So suppose I give something which is like which is not here, like maybe Pascal I'll give. To give me -1. Generally, it gives -1 when that it is not able to find it. Okay, so there are some other method is there, like index. We have includes. Here also we have includes, and here also I have includes. Get it, run it, and includes is coming. So Golang is true, and this is as false. So this is how it is done. Okay, so that is there, and a lot of other array methods are also there which you should go through. Now we are going to learn today, wrap everything with maybe with we're going to learn about objects, and we are going to wrap it there. So let's do objects, and I'm going to give all this JSBin. So JSBin is a very good way to give. See, if I give you this link, this link, this link, this link, all these links, if I give you, you'll be able to see it. Okay, so I will paste this all those links in the in our description of this YouTube video. So anyways, it will be there. So there is nothing like dynamic arrays in JavaScript. Okay, so there is nothing like dynamic arrays in JavaScript. JavaScript is not for your competitive programming and all those things. Nothing like dynamic arrays, linked list, and all those things are not there. So that's the reason if you want to do some competitive programming, DS and algos, JavaScript is not your language. Dynamic arrays are not there. Okay, linked list and all those advanced things are not there here. So we are going to learn about objects. Okay, so objects we are going to learn, and here const person equal to. So what are objects? Objects are basically key value pair. Okay, key value pair is what objects are. So it is like this. F name is like bindu, and name is like response, and 39 is developer is like true. So this is an object, and this is another way to store the data, and it stores the data as key value pair, like array store as a continuous way. It stores the data as a key value pair. Okay, so that is there. And how to see this? See, let us see this by console.log of person is like this, and I will run it. Oh, I forgot to give the attendance sheet. Okay, let me give the attendance sheet. All of you, please mark your attendance. Here, one sec. I have to. Where is my chat? Yeah, here it is. So I've also pinned the message for the attendance, so you all can see it. Okay. So someone is asking a very good question actually. Sir, this is this a JSON method? Very good question actually. This is a very good question which Prabalika have asked. Okay, so actually JavaScript objects are like a JSON object, but they are not JSON objects. And ignore this thing. This is a bit of error in actually this JSBin. So if I do this like this and console and clear it, run it, it will show like this object. So let me tell also what is like what is the difference between JSON methods and normal JavaScript object. JSON methods from is Java string object notation. Okay, so Java, both of them are almost same, but still a bit of difference is there. Okay, so the thing is that let us understand what is an object. Object is a key value pair. So the key is always unique. Value can be anything, And in JavaScript, value can be anything. So it can be like a string, it can be like a number, it can be like a boolean and all those things. So it is like that. And the thing is that left the key is a string, but it is not required to give it as a string. It is not required to give it as a string, and that is why the JSON objects are different. And JSON objects are the main way in which the data transfer over the internet, means the API, and also we create everything in the JSON object. Let us see a very good JSON object, which is a very good site, JSON placeholder, which I will use a lot. So API site. So if I do here raw data, see, it is an array of object, which is a very important way. See this object here. See this object here. Okay. So this object, we have this left hand side also a string, and right hand side can be a string or a number or anything else. But whenever right hand side means the value is string or a key always you have to take it in double quotes. It is mandatory for JSON object to take the key in double quotes, but it is not mandatory. You can take it. It is not mandatory in object to take it in double quotes, single quotes, or any other quotes. And here only double quotes is allowed. If you give a single quotes also, it will fail. So key is in double quotes, and if something is a string here, that is also in double quotes. That is the difference between JSON object and normal JavaScript object. Although JSON object also the full form is JavaScript object notation. So that is there. Something strict is there. So here nothing strict is there. Okay, that is there. That is the difference. And how to see this means like a console.log person, how to get access to this thing, f name and name and all those things. So for that we have to do dot f name. So there are two notation. One is known as dot notation. This is how we can access. Okay, so let me comment this out. This is how we can access, and it will give me Nabendu. So other way is known as bracket notation. So what is this bracket notation? I'll come here, and this bracket I will give, and then in the bracket I'll give the L name, and it will also give the same thing. Okay, it will also give the whatever. So what is the benefit of this bracket notation? There is one benefit of this bracket notation. Suppose I want to give last space name. So if I give like this, it will not allow me. So let me quote it in a single quote. So I cannot do this last name like here. Again, it will give me error. See, error it is giving, but I can give the last name here because I have quotes. It is mandatory to have this quotes. Okay, so this is the benefit of this notation. Okay, so that is there. And objects actually doesn't have a lot of methods because no, lot of methods are there in array only, but we have a very popular format here in objects. Okay, so that is known as the array of objects. So array is there and object is there. Most of the internet works in this way only. So this we are going to learn later on and all. So this API a bit and all those things we are going to learn throughout this month, because after that React.js week is there, then the next JS week is also there. So all those things are there. And beside this, actually we are going to end here today because we covered a lot, and rest of the JavaScript will be covered tomorrow maybe we can start with something else. So because what I'm going to, okay, let me tell also what I'm going to cover this, because I've told all of JavaScript to cover. After this I will, means this will continue a bit more, because if statements are remaining, else statement, if for loop and all those things are remaining, for loop and all are remaining, for switch and all those loops are remaining. So that will be done, for loop, conditional and all. So after that we will do JavaScript, means JavaScript async JavaScript we are going to do, which is mainly a very important thing to do. Async JavaScript is very important. Okay, so that we are going to do async JavaScript also. And then after that, because that promises and all those things, then after that we are going to do DOM. DOM is very important because DOM is the way in which we interact with the JavaScript, and the project is there. So this is just the theory part sort of. When we are going to do DOM, we are going to do it in VS Code, and then after that we're going to do ES6, and if we have time we'll do some projects also. So someone asked a very good question, so let me answer that and wrap today's session. And what do you think of Vue.js? Vue.js is also very good. It is like React.js, but again the thing is that it is used very less, and there is some it was actually backed up by Alibaba, and Alibaba, see, all the three big things. React is backed by Facebook and loved by everyone, so that's why React is so much popular. Angular is backed by Google. Google made it, but it is not loved by anyone. So that is because Angular is tough. Angular, it will take you around 2 months to learn. Although I do Angular certification also. Maybe I'll do sometime. So I've done in the previous things, and it is tough. Angular is really tough. Okay, so Angular is really tough, and it takes time to teach also. But Vue.js is actually a combination of Angular and React, and maybe I will have sometimes some certification for that also, because I'm learning. I know a bit of Vue.js, although I have never in my professional career worked in Vue.js, but I know Vue.js also because I have done something in Vue also, means some projects and all here and there. It's a combination of React.js and Angular. It's easy to learn than Angular because it had taken the best of both the things. The person who created the Vue was working in Google, then he left Google and created his own thing and all those things. Got the backup about, and we are going to learn Next.js. We are going to learn Next.js during the last week of this. We are going to learn Next.js. Okay, last week we are going to learn this is a server-side rendering platform for React.js. So first you are to learn React.js, and it is 99% same, but it is even faster than React. So why you are not using VS Code platform? Because I am teaching right now. The theory part in JavaScript I always teach through JSBin, and when we are going to do programming in JavaScript, we'll use VS Code because we are going to create some project there. Okay, so maybe for next 2-3 days we're going to use this only. So with this, we'll end here because I have a class to take at 10. I take a class at 10, so we'll end here. And with this, thank you all, and we'll meet tomorrow, day 2. Hope you have filled the attendance form, and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Yeah, next days will improve your resume definitely. Bye.